Bricktopian. Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we will be taking a look at a Lego MOC. This is actually a modified version of the Chinese New Year or Lunar New Year set, the Family Reunion Celebration. This modification is by the YouTuber and Rebrickable designer of Brick Artisan, and it manages to incorporate all the important elements of the original set onto a base plate using additional parts to make it into a modular building. It does include all of the original minifigures from that set as well, although you cannot see them in this particular shot because they are inside the building as opposed to on the outside. The street light here is not a part of Brick Artisan's instructions. I have added it myself because I wanted a lamppost outside, although it's different to the regular modular lamppost because it is in dark green and it has a trans red bulb as opposed to a regular transparent bulb piece. The original set costs £89.99, although this version uses additional parts that I had in my own parts collection. Luckily, I had a lot of the parts needed, but I did manage to get some extra parts off of Bricklink. The set number is 80113. The original set version has 1,823 pieces, although this particular version comes with around an extra 200 pieces. I really like what they've done with this build. I think that he managed to get it really neat and precise, and he managed to use the width of the original set as an advantage to making it deep enough to fit on a base plate. Because on the original version, this section here is actually offset in sort of perspective. It's actually, I believe it's further back than the rest of the building. But it's like made longer. But on this version, his rebrickable version, he's made it level with the rest of this front of the building. But I think it works really well, and the way he's filled in the back of the building with all of these white panels works really well because they look really neat and they're not overly like messy or anything. But these are additional pieces that you have to get from your own parts. I thought the instructions were pretty clear, and this is my first time doing anything by Brick Artisan, and it's anything actually me using rebrickable instructions, and I actually thought the process was pretty decent for the most part. It was a bit of a pain getting all of the extra pieces, although I did have some anyway, like I say, but yeah, it wasn't too bad really. There's no prints in this set really, apart from a couple of little things like this piece, if I can lift it off. This is a print. This piece here, that's a print. But most of the stuff in this is stickered, which is a bit of a shame. Like these banners are stickers, and these on each side of the door and above the door, they're stickers as well, which is a bit of a shame. But you know, it would have made the price even more if they had included all prints. There's some really good things about the outside of this building. One of the things that will stand out to you, perhaps, if you know Lego parts well, is that these are new. They've done the ones with the square holes before, but these are the ones with the round holes, and they're actually new to this particular build. I really like how many of them they've used, and I have actually, at this point in time, ordered some extras from Brick Owl, so that I can perhaps potentially add an extra floor to this, because it looked brilliant with 2 floors, but it is a lot shorter than modulars. So I feel like 3rd floor would really make it really great and level it up in height. One thing I don't like is that you can see an exposed stud there, which is like that in the original set as well. But I believe that would be easy to fill in. You could just put a tile on top, or just add an extra. Or what I'll probably do is put an extra brick so it's a bit higher, so you don't even see it. I love the little fish tank at the front, and what's great about it is you can actually see it on the outside and the inside, which I didn't necessarily realise when I before I built this. But I think that's great, and you get one of the red fish pieces in it, which isn't very easy to get, and was also used for the latest CMF series for the Noir Detective figure. So I feel like that figure would actually look quite great on this particular build if you have that because it would like be them trying to investigate the restaurant or whatever. But yeah, I added this street lamp because I thought the dark green matched up with the dark green um, ingot tiles on the roof pretty well, and I used a red bulb so it matches up with the red lanterns and everything. But that's the only thing I've done different from the Brick Artisan instructions. I like the little flower stand, it looks really nice. They've used lots of different types of flowers there, and the little awning over the top using the yellow and orange is really nice too. They've used these leaf and gold frog combinations to just add a nice bit of texturing and sort of like stonework to the outside. They've used loads and loads of these sand green grate elements. The way they built the angle for where this sign is at is really nice. They've used the clips and one of these sort of bar pieces that you can use to fit inside a stud to connect it all. These, by the way, these flowers here are not actually there in the instructions. I just added those there because these were extras, and I just made a plant out of the extra flower pieces and just stuck it there. The doors are nice. They're actually double doors, and they're using the 6-wide frame, and it opens up really nicely. And inside there, you can actually see a little bit of the person being served at the counter. There's a nice little like sort of orange tree outside, which was actually a really fun construction. It just uses like Technic elements that are like these ball joint pieces, and they're pushed through the leaves. The little peach stall here is nice too, and this piece here is brand new to this set. This like pink thing that's meant to represent a peach, and it like sits through. It's got a bar at the bottom and goes through like that pretty well, which is pretty fun. So that's pretty fun. But I didn't like that there's these little crates here, but I like the crates themselves, but I don't like that you are supposed to put one of these extra peach things on top of it loose, because it just moves around. You can actually see it's fallen down there at the back. It's actually pretty annoying because it's not attached, and most of the time I don't like it on buildings when things are not actually attached down, because it's so easy when you just move the building very slightly for them to fall apart or move around. You also get these string lanterns across the top, which are really nice as well. They use some of the printed ones that have dragons on, because this is for the Year of the Dragon. I also really like how they've used lots of these tan panel pieces just to give a bit of texture underneath and a bit of depth on this second floor. The use of the dark green ingots was really nice. They just look really great in my opinion, and they use like these hinge plate pieces to get that nice angle, and then just normal plate on top. But yeah, it's a really fun building. I even like the texture and the more ingots in light grey for coming into the entrance. But yeah, and there's on the first floor there's more of these windows, but they're hidden a bit by these arches. But I think it looks really nice like that. I think out of the peach stall though and the flower stall is better. It's more detailed, got more going on, and it's just really nice. These are stickers. Sorry. They've got like this little corner bit cut out that is done, which is sort of still captures the vibe of the original set, even if this is the rebrickable version. So although you'd have a little bit of a gap if this was up against a building, I sort of don't mind it. It adds a little bit of sort of fun and Easter egg to it, having this little signage and section around the corner and the little oven and everything, and a spare little window section, which makes sense because there's the kitchen inside here and it would need the extra ventilation anyway. This piece here is actually supposed to be like a little painted box, and these pieces are actually combined with the candle flame pieces that are in black to represent paintbrushes. I thought that was quite fun. And then just a sticker on top that looks like it's been painted on. But there's not really a lot else I need to say on the outside of it, really. I mean, you've got the roof as well, which I will just show you now, actually. Yeah, on top of the roof, you've got this sort of yellow plant pot here, which has got some extra flowers in, which look really nice. And I just think it adds a nice bit of contrast to colour having that yellow there, and it actually does match up well with the flower awning that's down below that I showed you. you can see there's a couple of fireworks here which actually just sit in one of these fence pieces sideways, so that they're not actually attached again. But these are not too bad because they're on the roof, they don't move around as much. But yeah, they're not any exploding fireworks, which I kind of wish there was. I wouldn't mind adding some of the exploding fireworks that they used the building technique for in the Story of Nyan set to actually have exploding fireworks. But it's nice that they thought about it. You also get this little cart, which I put on the roof. It can sit on the pavement, but I've just put it up here again so it doesn't move around as much. And this has got like little dumplings or something in it. It's got like a little sign there, which is again a sticker. I think they're dumplings. It's a nice sticker though. And inside you just got a little bowl. You got this nice little heated lamp over the top, which probably keeps them warm. You've got a handle. You've got the wheels at the bottom. You've got a little temperature gauge. You've got a fork. You've got a chopstick. It's a pretty simple build, but it actually captures a lot on just this little trolley, and it's really nice. Then you can see a gold railing there, which is access to the stairs. Because in this version of the instructions, there's two ways you can build this. One, you don't have roof access, and the other that you do. I added roof access because I think it's really nice that you can potentially walk up here and look off the roof, interact with the flowers, and I may even add my own extra table to the roof. In the original version of this set, you have a table on the roof and a table on the second floor. But in this version, you have both tables on the second floor because obviously this is deeper. But yeah, it would be fairly easy to add parts to add another table on the roof as well. So I'm planning on doing that. I like this little extra lamp here as well. It's quite nice. It doesn't use the printed dragon on this one. It's just a regular trans red minifig head. But I think it's really nice, and you wouldn't see the dragon print if that was on that one anyway, so it kind of makes sense. Another thing I don't really like about this particular build is I don't like how much the roof sticks up around here. I don't like this gap that goes all the way around. I don't think I've done anything wrong when building it. I think it does just have that annoying gap. I just don't like it. I don't know, it just kind of bugs me because it's like too much gap. I feel like this needs to be filled in, and it's sort of like when you're pushing down on it, sometimes it feels like it's going to break. And some of these plate pieces feel like they could break off quite easily. So I'm not a huge fan of that. Another thing, and you might notice there's actually a fence section and that on this side, even though this is up against a modular. That's because there's extra parts because of the fact that this is shorter than the original set. So it goes round to the corner. But I don't mind that. I think that's great that they still managed to use as many parts as possible without too much waste. But anyway, there's not really anything else yet I need to say on this, so let me have a look at the interior details. Removing the roof is pretty easy. It's more awkward attaching it than removing it. But yeah, it comes off pretty easily, to be fair. It's not like big hassle to remove it, so that's something that's pretty good. Inside this floor, you can see you get a toilet in there, which does actually come with a sink. I don't think the original version of this set came with a sink, so it's nice that it was included there. You get a sign there on the side, which is printed, which is another sticker. You get a table, which has currently got two of the minifigures sitting at it, eating some noodles. And I like how they've used this bowl piece to represent a Lazy Susan. You've also got the bigger table, which is even more detailed and actually has this, which actually does spin, and it's a proper Lazy Susan. You've got a nice pot there, which has got some veg in. You've got some little tables. You've got enough seating and food for 6 different people, as well as a bunch of chopsticks. Like I say, this section here would have been on the roof in the original one, but it's actually over here instead of, there's a separate section on the roof. There's the stair access, which is pretty straightforward because, like I said, it was an add-on to the Rebrickable instructions that you did later if you wanted to add roof access. So it's pretty simple, but I think it does the job all right. Down here, you've actually got a karaoke machine, which has another sticker on it. And it has 2 microphones, so 2 people can have a singing competition. And I think that's really nice that they've included that, even if it is tiny and in the corner. It's just something extra other than the food that this particular building adds to the experience of people visiting. You can see it's got a brown door in there, which is for the toilet. For some reason, it's got these snot plate down there in the corner, which don't actually have anything on them, which is a bit odd. I don't know why there's nothing on top of that, but I'm not going to complain, it's just a bit of extra texture. Another thing you might realise is the tiling is not done on the floor, so there's loads of places to place minifigures, but some people might not like this, not tiled off, because it feels less finished. But then again, some of the modulars, only the second floor is tiled off anyway, and I know this is the second floor, but it feels like it's not so bad when you know that some of the elements on the original modulars are not tiled off anyway. But yeah, it wouldn't be too difficult to add your own tiles if you really wanted to, if you wanted to actually tile this off. But yeah, there's not really a lot else I need to say on this floor, really. You can see the inside of these extra white panel pieces there at the back. And you can also see a bit of a look at how the roof sections are constructed. But yeah, that's it for this floor, really. There's not really anything else I need to say. Now we remove the next floor. If I can. Oh, careful not to break that off. Yeah, now this is the first floor. On the first floor, you can see you've got a counter where they serve people and ask them to see if they got a booking or whatever. You've also got a staircase there, which is really nicely done, how it curves round. It's got 1x3 tiles that have the jumpers on, so that you can still attach minifigures to every point in the stairs, which is good because a lot of modulars don't have loads of places on the stairs where minifigures can stand, so it's nice they included that. As you can see, the floor isn't really tiled off, although there is a couple of representations of rugs using curved corners there. You can see there's a seating area back here, a very, very small table that's just got a teapot on it, and there's two other people sitting having a drink. In this particular room is the kitchen, and you can see it's loaded with 3 different staff members who are working on the food. There's a duck that's hanging up using the chicken element over a table to stop it dripping, and then there's a small oven section over here, which is pretty well done too, although very simple, and uses a technique that is often seen in these particular builds. On the wall next to it, there is a green door, which actually doesn't open that far because of how busy it is in here, but I think it still opens far enough. I actually did move this particular table that's got the bowl on. I did actually move that over to the right a stud because it was even more ridiculously tight for the door, but that is just something that I did. There's an extra sink for the kitchen as well, and there's also, you can see the inside of those windows that I said about earlier, which are in this little bit around the corner. But yeah, like I say, there's not loads going on in here, but there's plenty to enjoy though. And there's also a nice little open window there, or counter, where people can put food through and talk to the staff in the kitchen. It just uses a simple window frame, but I think it does the job pretty well. You can also see a better look there at the inside of the fish tank from this perspective. But yeah, there's not really anything else I need to say on this interior detail either. There's curtains as well that are here on these windows. But yeah, you pretty much get the idea. So yeah. And now it's time for the minifigures, which you can see there is a total of a massive 13 of them. Yes, there seems to be a lot of minifigures they're doing in these Chinese New Year series sets now, compared to what there was to start with, and I'm quite happy about it. But yeah. Before I mention all of the minifigures, the first thing I should say as well is there is this other cart that was inside next to one of the tables, and this one just contains some little sandwiches in there. The first minifigure I'd like to talk about is the dragon costume minifigure, which is probably my favourite out of all the minifigures in this set. It's got a gold head. It's not just a normal dragon head in red, which they could have done. I'm glad it's gold, so it's a bit different. The torso also has a lot of nice details and prints, and has a gold jacket and arms. The legs are in the dark orange colour, which adds a nice bit of slow contrast to the top half. The back also has printing as well. The arms do not have any actual printing though. The head is not double-sided, unfortunately, but that is the main head design you get, which looks pretty good. Simple but good. Beyond that, you also get this character, which has nice hair and hat combination. The jacket is pretty good too, and there are actually two figures in this set that have that jacket, because this guy does too, and I reckon that maybe they're brother and sister because they have very similar hair as well in their colour and everything. But yeah, I like her olive green coloured legs. She's got no arm printing again though. And this one doesn't have a head printing either. I don't know if any of them do actually, I can't remember. But what I do really like about these jackets is on the back there is actually a dragon that is draped across a circle. And this is supposed to be reminiscent of the classic space logo, which is really fun. There is a lot of space related stuff this year for 2024, I've noticed, and this seems to be a part of that. It seems to be just like every single theme seems to have a reference to it, which is something I'm particularly excited about actually, because I love classic space. So, and they've even just recently done the classic space promo set that's got the space babies in, which is really nice too. But yeah, anyway, that's a look at that particular figure. Next up, I'll show you the one. No, next I want to show you this one that I just said about. This one, because this is, like I said, has the same torso as the other one, as the female one, but it's obviously the rest of it's different. This one's got dark red legs. It's not got any arm printing either. It's got a nice scarf, and obviously it's got that nice print on the back again. Again, there's no alternative head print, unfortunately. Next up, you have this guy, which I think is supposed to be a kid one, but I could be wrong. He's got like a nice sporty jacket on. He's got the very shortest legs in tan, and his hair's pretty cool too. The back isn't really got any printing much. It's just got a little bit of detail. Again, no arm printing though. Although this one does have an alternative face, because he's got a sad face. Perhaps his order at the restaurant is no longer available. Now you have the chef guy, the main chef. He's got a nice chef's hat on. He's got a nice smiley face with a beard. He's got this awesome torso of looks like he's pretty well protected from any grease or anything. He's got the black legs. He's not got any arm printing though, and he has not got any alternate head print. I like the back of his top though. It's got a dragon holding a spoon. That's pretty fun. Although it isn't perhaps the clearest of depictions, it's still pretty nice design, I have to say. Now you have a lady who could perhaps be his wife, but it's debatable if she is or she just works as his assistant. But she basically has this old grey hair that's like got a bobble on the top, and she's got a pretty decent torso too, with a nice bit of red in the middle, which really captures that Chinese vibe. She also has a dragon on the back of her top, but this time instead of gold is actually silver. I think the gold one I prefer because it fits the colour scheme of this set better, but the silver is also quite nice. Her black legs match up with the black legs of the main chef. Again, no arm printing. And she also has no alternative head printing. Now you have this guy who's also pretty old, I would imagine. He's got a really nice grey jumper on. I think this jumper's been used in something else, perhaps a Winter Village set or something. I can't remember if it has, but I think it has. But he's got the dark blue legs, and he's got a moustache, some glasses. He's got no arm printing, and the back of his torso is very similar to the front. Again, no head printing. So far, there is only one figure that has had head printing on the back, and that is this one. Next up, we have this guy who's got a nice stripy shirt. He's winking, perhaps at some girl he's seen serving him in the restaurant, because he's like "Hey, I like the look of this food, and you seem nice too." But yes, he's got nice glasses. He's got a nice lightish blue trousers. No arm printing, which is just silly. And he has got an alternative face though. He's got a more regular smile. So that is two figures down which have alternate faces. Next up you have this one, which is also some guy who's probably working in the restaurant area. He's got a very similar look in his outfit to the female old lady one, because it's grey on the back as well, silver on the back. He's got the same torso and the same exact legs. He's just got a different head and hair. He's very smiley and happy to serve his customers. He does actually have an alternative face, which is where he's stuffed himself with perhaps some of the food that is going to be served, because he's very, very cheeky like that. He's been stuffing his face and stealing all the customers' food, and he's going to get caught, I reckon, doing it. He's been up to some mischief. And then apart from those, you've also got this girl, which I believe is a girl. She seems young, like the boy one, and she's actually holding another one of those printed tiles, which is really fun. It could just be a menu, I would assume, for the restaurant, but it could be something else. It could just be a postcard or a regular card or anything you want it to be, really. It could be a diary, whatever, but I think it would be a menu. Makes sense to me. Her hair I actually really like. I actually love this hairstyle. It's really actually quite nice. The torso and leg combination is pretty good too. It's not super detailed, but it's really nice, the colour combination. Again, no arm printing. She has an alternative face though, so I will make up for that with saying she's got a cool face there. She's pretty shocked, and she's holding the menu, so I reckon she's shocked by the prices. And I really wouldn't blame her, because the price of food these days is ridiculous. Even just going in a shop is insane. So I don't blame her for being shocked to death by the prices, to be honest with you. So the next geezer is, oh no, there's no more geezers. There's just this old lady who's got a litter picker. I think it's supposed to be a selfie stick, but you know, I'm going to use it as a litter picker. She's a nice old lady. She picks up all the litter that all the young stupid people have just dumped everywhere, not really caring what they're at. She's just like, I'm going to be a good Samaritan today. And on the back, she's got the same, and on the front, she's got the same. She's basically got the same outfit as the previous figure I just showed you, except she's got the longer legs. She's got a nice smiley face, so she's obviously clearly happy with the retirement that she's living. She also has an alternative face, which looks even happier. I mean, what business does she have being so happy? I don't know. But at least she is. Maybe someone bought her some of these flowers and she's just like, this is the highlight of my day. I'm very happy about that. But anyway, moving on from her, because she's getting a lot of the limelight today. Well, you got this one. She's holding a phone because, you know, she's sort of a teenager or a young adult, and you know how a lot of them like their phones. So she's got a nice grey, sorry, not grey, she's got a green jumper with some nice ziggy zaggies on. And on the back ziggy zaggies, and she's got this sort of lightish blue trousers. She's got a nice smiley face, and she's got no alternative face, so I guess she only has one expression in life. Like some people I know. And she's got no arm printing, because apparently none of the figures in this set have arm printing, which is a bit of a cop-out, considering how detailed some of the rest of the figures are in their torsos and legs and everything. Well, actually, the legs are pretty plain as well. Actually, no, I take that back. All the figures have plain legs as well, actually. So I take that back. And my favourite, apart from the dragon head one, is probably this one. It's not perhaps the most detailed, but I just love this jacket piece. I've always loved it when they use this. She's holding a camera, by the way, because she's one of those people who posts pictures of what she eats on Facebook and expects everyone to like it. But yeah, she's got this nice torso. I love this jacket piece. It was used like for Nia in some of the Ninjago sets, and it's the same on the back. I love her hair. It's just pretty nice. I think it's the one used for Hermione, but I don't care. I love it. And the face is really nice with that nice beauty spot. She knows she's beautiful in this jacket. She's just like very proud of how she looks, but that's all right. And she's got plain white trousers. She's got no arm printing again because, you know, that's redundant me even saying that now. And then on the back, she has got an alternative face though, hip hip hooray. And she's like, oh my goodness me, I can't believe you'd buy me this meal. You're not even asking me to split the bill, even though it costs like more than your salary. Oh my god. She's really happy about that. So, you know, she loves it. But yeah, this is a great figure. But in all seriousness, yeah, she's just happy. I'm just having a laugh, but yeah. Anyway, that's all the figures in this set. There's a lot of them. Like I said, there's 13 of them. There's 13, which is a lot for a restaurant when I don't even know if some of the restaurants where I live have 13 people in at a time. They probably don't. It's just so small. But yeah, I love this build. It's amazing. I think that Brick Artisan has blown it away with this. It's just absolutely brilliant. Everything about it's great, except for a few minor flaws, which I believe those minor flaws are in the original set too. I didn't even build the original version of this set because I was like, I'm just going to build his version. It's so good. So that's basically what I did. And I just can't really, yeah, it's just great. I think this will look amazing next to other modules as well. I think it will look superb next to the Spring Lantern Festival set that they did for Chinese New Year theme a couple of years back. Anyway, will you be buying this set? And will you be redoing Brick Artisan's version? Because I think it's worth it. And yeah, I just used the base plate. Oh no, it's a red base plate. Fun story about that. This is the one from the Palace Cinema set, and I was silly enough to cut up the original one to make it fit on a shelf. And then I bought a second red one off eBay, and now I'm like, but I'm not going to use this. I just need it as a spare in case I ever put my Palace Cinema back on this base plate without it being cut. So I was like, well, I'm just going to use it on this because the red will match this, and it's at least being used, and if I ever need it, I know it's on this MOC. But yeah, anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video because there's not anything else worth saying. And I will give you some photos as well of what this looks like next to other modulars because, you know, why not? But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Feel free to like, share and subscribe for more videos and see you again in the next one. Goodbye.